YouTube, what's going on? Mike McCarthy is back in Dallas. Bill Belichick round two, and so much more. Let's get into it. YouTube, what's going on? It is the SuperBiased Sports Show. My computer acting funky. It's a place where a fan can be a fan, no matter how biased their takes are. Do
Yes,
me a
sir. Yes,
favor,
sir.
hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate y'all for rocking with the channel. I'm here right now with just one of my boys. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's good? What's good, man? It's your boy Austin, Patriots Nation, Gerard Mayo, Coach of the Year this year, man. Playoff bound Patriots, man. Yes, sir. What's going on, man? What's good? What's good?
Hey, chilling, man. I'm liking this whole Mayo pickup for y'all at coach.
That
It's a big change, man. Big
it
change
is.
from uh let's keep it real. You're going from an old white guy to a young black guy, right? Like
Facts.
it
Facts.
don't get no more different than that, right?
Facts.
Like
No cap. No cap.
that's a big change, and I feel like he's gonna be uh really good for y'all. Just with like, I think he can keep the Patriot way, but he
Mm-hmm.
can be a little bit more lax. You know what I mean? Not the Belichick way, but like
Right.
he can still keep the history, and all of that, but he can
Mm-hmm.
help y'all, transition a little bit to like today's time. So, what's your thoughts on Mayo though?
Hey, I'm excited, man. He's obviously turned the corner, younger. They went younger with him. They got a young coach in
Mm-hmm.
him. I'm excited, man.
That's
See
dope.
what he could do. Pay a former player. You know how former players normally turn out as coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yep.
bad. So
No,
I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
that's
I'm looking
dope.
forward to it.
Yeah, and honestly, we can actually jump right in because that's one of our topics right there. Is the ex player coaches is winning right now, right? And
Mhm.
so you got D'Amico in Houston, who's in the playoffs right
Mhm.
now,
He's an
right? Like
ex-player.
D'Amico, yeah, he played
Oh
for
shit!
Houston.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yep,
Oh
yep,
damn, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
D'Amico played. He played for. Well, he played for Philly. He played for Houston.
Shit.
Did he?
Sheesh.
Did he play for Washington?
Yo.
Oh,
No, he played for the Eagles in 2012, and he played for Houston in '06. Hey,
okay.
look at that.
The
So
NFL guru himself.
Yes,
the
sir.
guru.
He got broken.
Um, so we in here we talking about ex player coaches and how they winning right now. So what's your thoughts on some of these? Is that the new move? Is that the move to go with? Because I mean, you see it happening in the NBA right now, right? Like a lot of different teams is going with ex players as their head coaches, and I think the NFL is starting to make their way towards that. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's good because Bill Belichick was an ex-player, wasn't he? He used to play football in
Was
the
he at?
NFL.
Was he in the NFL?
I believe so. Crazy. Do you
Let's
know
see.
if he was? I
I
believe
have
he
no
was.
clue.
I believe he was. But no, I like that because they are more relatable to the coach. The coach are
Yeah.
more relatable to them. Because guess
Mm-hmm.
what? You know what it is to be a football player.
Right.
Facts.
And not even just a football player, but a football player in the NFL, right? Because that's a whole different ball game. Money, you know what I mean? Properties, family, like all that. Like we know football in high school and a little bit of college. Like we knew football as just like kids, but this is
Mm-hmm.
football on a whole different
Like,
level. You know what I mean? So it's like they know it. You got Dan Campbell in Detroit, another one, ex-player, turned coach, got his team in the playoffs. So
he
it's
plays.
like
He used to play for the
Hmm.
Giants.
he did.
He was a player. I think it was a tight end, and he played in the. I can't remember what Super Bowl, but we lost against the Steelers. Not the Steelers, the Ravens. Lost against the
Okay.
Ravens that year.
And yeah, I mean, it's a nice little trend that's happening, and now you see the New England Patriots, they jump on the wave, right, and now they do the same thing, and I think it's the way to go. Like you said, Bonnet, they can relate to the players, right? Like they're younger, and that's another thing. Like they're not going with older players who were coaches; they're going with younger players, right? They're related to the players, and I think that's another key of not even just ex-coaches, but like the league is going a lot younger with coaches like Sean McVay and a couple of them other ones, right? Young, even Philly's coach Sirianni, which we don't know if how much longer he's gonna be the coach for or whatever, but that's still that's the new wave though, is going with these younger coaches who are more player friendly. They're more understanding of like what these players are dealing with, what they're going through, all of those types of things. So it's pretty interesting, with that, because I think in New England, like that has the potential to turn that organization around, right? Like top draft pick, new coach who is definitely, in the mix of everything. Like
been there almost his whole career.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was his whole career.
There his whole career. Yeah.
Yeah. Played his whole career there. Took a year or two off, and in 2019 he came, or a couple years off. 2019 came to the coaching staff with Bill.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mike Vrabel. Vrabel's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You even had old boy come off TV, Jeff Saturday. Right, the coach boy off TV for a couple months last year.
For a couple weeks.
Yeah.
What's his name was one Kansas City coach?
Andy Reid.
I think Andy Reid was a player too.
Was he? I know Eric Bieniemy used to be a running back, which is crazy.
Damn. Yo, what?
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy used to be.
That's crazy.
You wouldn't expect that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that a while ago though. But yeah, I mean, to me, I think that like that's just a nice move that the league is definitely gearing towards, and I'm just surprised. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I guess just a little disappointed in the fact that like the Cowboys are like sticking with exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? When there's so many alternatives, so many options to go out there and try to get, and it's like this is the year right now to do it. Like this year is the year to make a shift at coach. Like there's so many vacancies and all of that. So it's just like to me, I just don't get the move. I mean, I get the move, but I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, I think overall we all agree that like ex-player coaches, that's the move right now. Like if you are looking for a coach for your franchise, you're going more towards a younger person, hopefully somebody who played, and I honestly think that kind of opens up the door for a lot of African-American coaches as well, because, the league is predominantly, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a lot of
right now. What? There's 3 right now with Gerard Mayo. You got D'Amico, Todd Bowles, and Gerard.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And Antonio Pierce.
Tomlin.
Oh, Mike Tomlin too. I forgot. Probably the greatest one.
Antonio Pierce is another one where like some players. Yeah, but so even right now, I mean, like you got players who's like, listen, if he's not here with us next year, I want to be traded. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the biggest one being Max Crosby coming out and saying that. So,
exactly.
Your star edge rusher wants the coach. You might want to keep the coach. No? Am I wrong? Shoot. I mean,
I think it makes sense. You got to. Like, I mean, you can see the way, and this is the thing, that entire organization shifted when Antonio Pierce took over.
Oh, my gosh.
Everything, they played harder. They were more competitive. The players like you can just see that the personnel didn't change, right? They didn't go get no other players.
Mm-hmm.
They literally just made a switch at the head coach position, and these players started to fight for their coach. They started to play ball, and it really meant something to them. So,
speaking of that, Jack Jones is a crazy story. So in high school, Antonio Pierce was his high school coach.
Yeah.
I think something like that. And he got into some trouble in high school, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like bad trouble. Antonio Pierce helped him out of it or helped him to stay out of it. He went to Arizona State. I think Pierce left before his high school was done and he went to Arizona State. And then Jack Jones went to community college or something like that because he couldn't get into a university, you know what I'm saying? Because of what he did.
Yeah.
So he followed Antonio Pierce to Arizona State. Patriots drafted him. And now he's back with Antonio Pierce, who helped him get out of his trouble or whatever he did in high school or college, back and with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So, and he was hooping. He had remember the Chiefs Raiders game on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Remember Jack Jones, the pick six?
Yeah.
That with a one-handed pick six?
Mm-hmm.
That was Jack Jones.
Yeah.
Jack Jones is hooping over there for AP, man.
Yeah.
So
it's just amazing to see, like, just to hear some of these stories like that where, like, it's just different when, like, I mean, you got to think about it, right? Like, these players, they came from their respective hoods, like, you know what I mean? Like, they came from their areas. They know what these players went through, opposed to, like, those older style of coaches, let's just keep it real. Those older white guys who grew up in the suburbs, a lot of them didn't have no struggle, didn't have to deal. They don't know nothing about that. Like, yeah, they know talent, all of that, but they aren't able to relate to these players where you get players, ex-players who are now coaches. It's so much easier for them to connect and they understand where these kids are coming from and the things that they went through. Even listening to like the Dez Bryant was on with the Pivot the other day, and just listening to his story is and he's saying like, listen, I just want to be able to be in the league, not as a player, just as somebody, as a mentor, somebody that can help these players. They can understand, like, it's so much that's happening and helping them maneuver through, good people, bad people, all of the above. But it's just like, if that's a whole nother thing to break down is just that episode, because he was really saying like he didn't have the support and he was painted to be this bad guy, all while they were trying to get him to sign some crazy deal, a 10-year deal for $20 million. It was like a 10-year deal for like $100-something million, but it was only like 20 million of it was guaranteed. So it's like, you know what I mean? 10 years, 20, that's crazy, and it's just like things like that where like he would be able to help some of these kids understand, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, I'd love to even have Dez as a wide receivers coach, right? Like anything, you know what I mean? Just get guys like that on the sideline. So to me, I think ex-players is the move.
Right. Look at what Wes Welker's doing with the Dolphins wide receiving core.
Yeah. And who knows? It starts there, right? Like you don't expect him to get head coaching jobs, but like Mayo, he was on the coaching staff, put his time in his last contract that he did with them. They basically said he was going to be the successor to Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like now you're preparing for it. Doors are opening, things are working out, and all sorts of things like that. So, to me, I think it's just a dope story, and it's cool to see how it's starting to transition in the NFL with some of these ex-players and taking over some of these franchises. So, to me, I think that's pretty dope.
For sure. Definitely is.
So while we're talking about coaches, let's talk about reports is that Bill Belichick is in Atlanta for round 2. What's your thoughts on that? I know y'all talked about some of this stuff on Tuesday.
I hope we get it.
That's good. That would be the ideal destination, man.
Bijan is getting that football, and I'm okay in fantasy. That's my whole thing about it, because Belichick loves to run the football. Even when he had Tom Brady,
Bijan mustard,
he ran
man.
the football.
He definitely did. He definitely did. And I mean, now look at that though. Look at what we just talked about. Young coach taking over a team, young talent, all of that. Now you got the reverse side of it. You have the Atlanta Falcons, who are a very young team, right? They got Pitts, they got Bijan, right? I don't even know who
Drake
their
London.
quarterback is right now. Drake, right? They got all these young players, and now you got somebody like Bill Belichick coming in. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how that works out, because I don't see Bill as a long-term
No.
person. You know what I mean?
I see him 5 years max.
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 5 is
Absolute
on a
max.
long. I could see
I
him like
know.
3
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
Because look at Greg Popovich. He was about to leave until, he got a Wemby, but he lost his wife, about a year or two ago?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if Bill Belichick's wife is still alive. I do believe it,
Yeah.
that he is.
Mm.
They old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop's
He
in
was
his 70s, isn't he?
Yeah, he up there for sure. You said, wait, Greg Popovich?
No,
Yeah, he's 70. He's 74.
Bill Belichick, I mean.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
No,
Yeah.
he was relating. He said he was relating Pop to Bill Belichick.
Right.
No. I'm saying Greg Popovich, he looked like he on his way out, though.
Yeah, he's 74.
And I don't mean out. I mean like on his way to a funeral.
Yeah,
Like, he don't look. He looked like he need to come up off them sidelines and spend his last few years with his family. He just looked.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I get some of these coaches, but like Bill Belichick was there with New England for 24 years, something crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's a long time. And then to still turn around and say, okay, that wasn't like that was his first gig. He had already coached several years for different teams and stuff.
Yeah.
And then to now turn around and say, okay, I still want to keep going. It's like, bro, you're old though. Like, you don't want to go. You don't need the money, right? You've already got 6 championships. Like, what more do you? I mean, I get it. I get him trying to get the all-time record, but at the same time, like, bro, you're old. You don't want to go spend time with your family. Like Nick Saban, boom, I'm out of there, right? The game has changed. Like, it's a different game. Get out, let somebody else take over. So, I wonder if Bill would still be trying to coach if he had already reached that mark. I wonder if he would have just went out after.
I don't know. That's a topic for discussion. I mean, he's what, like 20-something wins away? If I'm not
Is it even that? I thought it was like 15.
Let's see. NFL all-time.
Yeah, my screen was like frozen. I could hear y'all and everything, but it just was. Let me just close out the browser and come back. Jerry will never win a Super.
20. He's 27 from the record. He's 27 from the record.
Okay, so yeah, then definitely 3 years.
3 years, 3 years and 9 and 8, and he gets it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because in Atlanta, you're with that team as is, you're maybe 8 to 9 wins.
I could look at that team now with the right coaching. I feel it could go 10 to 11. Especially with that division. So
they still need a quarterback, though. Who's their quarterback?
Yeah,
does Russ go to Atlanta?
They get Kirk in the offseason. They draft Michael Penix or Bo Nix in the second round, something like that.
Russell Wilson.
Have
places to go.
I think Kirk is going to stay in Minnesota. I don't know. I just got this feeling. I got this feeling he's going to stay down there in Minnesota.
They got old boy there now. What's the dude that got traded like 3 times this year already?
And they benched him, Josh Dobbs. They benched him for Mullins.
Nick Mullins.
See what they have at Mullins.
Listen, I don't know. But as far as what Ken is saying, Jerry Jones will never win another Super Bowl. Cowboys can't even have a head coach with full control. Well, one thing is this. I don't think that, to me, I don't think a head coach should have full control. I think there should be a coach, a general manager. I think it should be separated.
Control of like the offense or conducting the team, not drafting.
Okay. As far as that goes, no, I agree. The owner, I will say this: Jerry Jones. So
In the
as
hands on.
Jerry Jones as a GM, right? Like
great GM. I cannot lie about that man.
Great GM. But the problem is not the moves that Jerry is making. It's the moves that Jerry is not making, which is costing the team.
Over the top.
Every single team in the last few years that have went on to win a Super Bowl, or even play in the Super Bowl, they made moves throughout the year. Philadelphia, stacking players. San Francisco this year, stacking players. The Rams stacked players that year they went on to the Super Bowls. Made sure somebody would replace them. They went all in. Jerry lost every linebacker he had on his roster and said, okay, we'll take a safety and make him a linebacker. Instead of going out and getting somebody to fill those holes. So it's like, it's the moves that he doesn't make. Brandon Cooks was supposed to be in Dallas a year ago. Everybody, we're all happy that he's there now, but Cooks should have been in Dallas a year ago when we had Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz. Like he should have been there then. It's the moves that Jerry doesn't make that's holding this organization back. And then the fact that you have an owner like that that's holding your team back in that manner, it's trickling into everything else. So the standard in Dallas is just, the culture is bad. It's just not. It's not meant for Super Bowls, and I said this, like it's just not good.
Let's say in the perfect world, if y'all get Mike Tomlin
in Dallas,
yeah.
Well, so this is we could go on to the next one. They already came out and reported it. Jerry Jones is sticking with Mike McCarthy.
I couldn't. I'm like, okay. Like you said, though, he's been holding on to the coaches for too long.
Yes, but see, so this is the thing. There was times where we had coaches who went 5-11, 5-11, 5-11, right? Then you had Jason Garrett who went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, right? And Jerry stuck with him. I hated those days. Now you got a coach who's gone 12-5 for the last 3 years in a row, and he had early playoff exit, made it to the second round exit, and then a complete meltdown exit, right? So it's like, you're looking at the regular season, like, do you want to, if you go a completely different route, now you start fresh, you may not even get back to 12-5. And Jerry's like, listen, at least we're making that. To me, though, I feel like, and I said it, right? I said Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy were on the hot seat this year. And depending on what they did in the playoffs would have dictated their future. Yeah. And I was wrong because they're not making a change, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans think that they need to get rid of Dak Prescott and all that, but the money, they're going to restructure, they're going to extend Dak Prescott, and he's going to be up there in that $60 million a year range. Me personally, I think you do extend him, but I think that Dak has to take a friendly deal somewhere in that 50 to 55. 60 is too crazy. Yeah, but also you got to think about it. Let's keep it real. Are you here to just make money, or are you here to try to win a Super Bowl? Because if that's the case, you got to stop talking about, I know I got my Louis bag because the Super Bowl's in Las Vegas this year, so my Louis bag reminds me of that. So that's what I'm trying to go for. Are you trying to win Super Bowls? Because if so, you can't come out here and take $60 million. Does Dak deserve to be a top-paid quarterback in the NFL? 110% he does. Does he deserve $60 million? Absolutely not, because you're not. Quarterbacks that are getting $60 million, those are quarterbacks that have a Super Bowl, been to a Super Bowl, or deep playoff runs, right? Or MVPs, right? Like those.
You get what, 40? What is it, 40? Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 40.
How much better is Dak Prescott than Daniel Jones?
10 million better.
10 to 15. Like, yeah, like they both have done absolutely nothing. I mean, yeah, Dak has gotten to the playoffs and all that, but I mean, we have to keep it real. I don't think going in a new direction at quarterback is the answer. I think Dak, if we look at it like this, what did Dak have that year that they made that nice playoff push? What did he have on his offense his rookie year?
They have Zeke.
Amari Cooper.
Nope. He has Zeke.
Zeke was
wasn't that Zeke's rookie year though?
Huh?
Wasn't that Zeke's rookie year too?
But what was Zeke? Zeke was probably top 3 in the NFL at the running back position.
His rookie year, he was a dog.
That year, probably, I believe.
His rookie year, his first couple years, Zeke was a top 5 RB in the league. I don't care what anybody says.
No, that's not debatable. It's not. He absolutely was,
bro. He's coming out of. He was the top running back prospect coming out of Ohio State in that draft. 2016, fourth. Damn, he was 4th overall.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Dak Prescott did not. Tony Pollard is not him. Tony Pollard. Teams knew that Dak had to throw the ball. They knew it. There was no play action. There was no motion. There was no nothing. Dak needs CeeDee Lamb. He needs a real running back. So if you're going to stick with everything as is, you got to go out and get you a real running back. Go get Derrick Henry. Go get you a real running back that you can depend on when your quarterback throws an interception. What do teams do after quarterbacks throw interceptions? They hand the ball off. Look at the Buffalo Bills. Prime example.
Well, they got a decent running back in. I was about to say Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen don't got to play hero ball.
But look at in the beginning of the year when Buffalo was losing them games and all of that, what was happening? Josh Allen was throwing the ball. They weren't using their running backs. Josh Allen had to play Superman. Now,
and they fired the offensive coach.
They fired the offensive coordinator, and what did we see? James Cook turned into RB1 of the NFL, right? Like, dude is out here putting up numbers left and right. And Josh Allen, even when Josh and them, when the Bills beat the Cowboys, what did Josh Allen say? He said, "I feel like I'm the kid on the school project who just got the grade but didn't put any of the work in." Right? They took the ball out of his hands, and that's what the Cowboys can't do. They can't take the ball out of Dak's hands and give it to a running back. Tony Pollard is not an RB1. He's a change of pace running back. So, again, the moves that Jerry does not make. Jerry didn't go out and replace Zeke. He just said, okay, we got Tony Pollard. That's not the move, though. We've seen that over and over in Dallas. So,
Henry. Jeez.
If we get Derrick Henry.
I'm happy for my fantasy team, but.
Yeah. At that point, I would say that there's going to be I could see us
I wouldn't
again.
See them the ball within 5 yards if they're in the goal line. They would not.
No. And see, that was the thing, right? Scoring within the 20 yards, right? That was an issue. No real running game. All of those different things. Like, those were all issues. So, but another issue that Dallas has is the defense, right? Like, there was
get paid.
Huh?
Isn't this Parsons' year to get paid?
No, I think he got one. I think it's next year. This is CD's year to get paid.
No, he was a first-round pick, Parsons.
Yeah, so this is CD's year.
But going back to this 2016 roster, Dak threw for 3,600 yards and 23 touchdowns to Cole Beasley, Des Bryant, and Terrence Williams and Jason Witten.
Hey, but that was a core right there. Like, Terrence Williams.
Yeah.
Not at that time. Terrence Williams, Terrence Williams was what Michael Gallup had turned into.
It was just
yeah.
That Cole Beasley, that's when the little short wide receivers was in. Like that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a wide receiver core, man. Like, we thought that was. We thought that offense was going to be special, which it was. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be.
Because
You
back
know?
then,
ran-
3,800 yards it was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he threw for 36, 67, 23 touchdowns, 4 picks. With 57 rushes, 282 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Mhm.
Zeke ran 322 times for 1631, 15 touchdowns, 32 catches for 363 and a touchdown.
1,600 yards he had rushing, bro.
His rookie year.
Yeah.
But that was behind All-Pro tackle Tyron Smith, All-Pro tackle Travis Frederick, and All-Pro right guard Zach Martin.
Yep. Right. Young though.
Players?
They were we don't. Well, we got Tyron
Zach
Smith,
Martin and Tyron
Zach.
Smith, but Travis Frederick's not there no more. I don't think.
Hey, if y'all could try to get Kelsey.
But so you said Zeke went for how many yards that year? 1,600.
1631 and 15 tuds.
On 300 and how many carries?
22. He ran for 5.1.
That year, I think it was like 60 carry average or something like that.
He ran 5.1 a rush.
Okay, Tony Pollard this year, 252 carries for 1,005 yards. He averaged 4 yards a carry with 6 touchdowns. What do you think the difference is with Dak Prescott? Like Dak Prescott with a running game who was running the ball, what Mike McCarthy said they were going to do, run the ball more and all of that. Yeah. That is what the offense he was looking to do. That's not what he ended up doing though. So,
Cole Beasley had 75 catches in 6 games.
Speaking of Cole Beasley, I don't know if y'all saw it, but he was on Twitter and he was it's a whole deal going out there. He was talking about dudes with painted fingernails, and the world that we in now, like it's getting hectic. But Darius Slay got on there and said something about it too, so I thought it was pretty funny because y'all know how I feel about it, but people be ready to cancel you when it come to talking about stuff like that. But they tried to equate his tattoos with dudes that paint their fingernails, and he just like, bro, that's not it. Like that's not it.
Yeah. Sport where I understand painting nails is when you're a catcher in the MLB because it helps the pitcher.
That comes off at the end of the game, anyways.
Right. So they can see the sign. Anything else?
But Zeke had 322 for 1631 and 15 touchdowns in 2016. That's crazy.
Yeah. Zeke was a dog, man. Zeke was definitely a dog.
That was both of their rookie years. Malik Collins was a rookie on defense. Byron Jones was a second-year player on defense.
It was a young team, and that team ain't that young no more. Hey, but what's your thoughts on this Bills
that's crazy.
Kansas City? Do y'all think Josh Allen finally beats Pat?
No. No. Not being a hater. But also,
man.
My coworker, we got a little thing on we ain't gotta buy lunch that day. I mean next following work day, and I ain't trying to buy nobody lunch.
Oh man.
So it's a cold weather game with 2 cold weather teams.
About to say they played at negative 30.
They played at negative 30. So if anybody got a little up, I think it's Kansas City. Like they were
bet against what's his name in the playoffs. I can't, bro.
Pat, I feel you. And they
was running hard.
I was just about to say that. They got Pacheco.
Run like that? Okay, Bills.
But so I was listening to Speak. Was it Speak? No, what's the one with not the one with Shady and then what's the one right before them? With Chris Broussard and Nick Wright.
Oh, First Things First.
First Things First. And they had
Mahomes Mountain, man.
Yeah. And they were talking about this game and they were talking about I think it's Eric Mangini. He used to be a coach. I think he'd be on there, and he was talking about Buffalo. He was trying to say, well, Buffalo has a bunch of injuries, and Buffalo's not healthy, and Kansas City is healthy. But I'm just like, yo, Buffalo has been on a run, right? Like, we can't
at the right time.
We can't start throwing excuses out there, before this game happens. Like, Kansas City is not the same team that they've been in previous years, but Buffalo's been clicking. They got a running game. Josh Allen, I think in this run, Josh Allen has like 15 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions, right? Mm-hmm. So he's moving the ball, and he's not turning the ball over, which is important. So, I think it's going to be interesting, but it is in Buffalo, right? They haven't had this game in Buffalo. And now Bills fans, I know they're going to say, well, we beat them already, but they haven't beat them in the playoffs. Right. And the last time we saw them was when they went, what did they go into overtime? And that's when the whole rule changed.
Yeah, the Josh Allen rule, man.
The Josh Allen rule is now in effect. So,
only for the playoffs, though. Only for the playoffs. I'm with y'all, though. Like, it's hard to pick Pat Mahomes, or it's hard to pick Josh Allen over Pat.
I won't be surprised. I'll be surprised if the Bills win and they don't run good. Because the Chiefs got good run defense.
Yeah. You're saying if it gets into like a passing, like going back and forth.
But then look who got the better receivers.
Who?
The Bills. The Bills got a better receiver.
One of their receivers is hurt.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is hurt.
Yeah, but what to do?
Mr. 30 fantasy points 1 week and then 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Diggs haven't had a crazy game in a while.
Team's been locking Diggs. I mean, not locking him up, but they've been keeping him under wraps.
Sneed, just like how he did with Tyreek when he was going to Tyreek Hill. No. No. He had that man on lock and key.
Nah, that's a fact. That's it. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. This is what I told. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, Bills fans, they automatically think that but us, they think that we're Bills haters, but that's not it. We live in upstate New York, right? Like, we know. I mean, Austin, he don't like the Bills for sure, but like, we know what goes on with the Bills, like, right? Like, we're so close to them where, like, we might not. A lot of our issue is that we just know that Buffalo has a lot of delusional fans and all of that. And if they do something, you got to listen to it. As soon as Buffalo beat the Steelers, they was on Facebook talking about Super Bowl, right? Y'all just beat the Steelers with Mason Rudolph at quarterback, right? Like, that's not Super Bowl, bro. Like, that's you're doing your thing.
And then they was coming back towards after that block kick.
Yeah, and no TJ Watt. So it's like that's something to think about. But it's like, okay, I said if Buffalo can beat Kansas City, I will start to look at them a whole lot more different, right? If Buffalo can beat Kansas City, I'll start to see them different. But it's still Baltimore at the end of the day that you got to meet up with. Yeah. Eventually, you got to go up again. And that defense made the best of teams.
Talking about they might lose to Houston, by the way. I was like,
yes, sir. CJ, Strizz out.
I'm like, do y'all know the defense just alone? But
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing it. I mean, the only thing I can say is, like, the week off sometimes comes back to haunt teams, but Lamar got so much to prove, and Andrews might be coming back. They opened up his practice window, right? So he's getting one of his favorite weapons back. The defense is locked down,
and now he's like white on rice with Flowers.
Yeah. So, and they have a legit coaching staff. And Harbaugh ain't about to go out there and get out coached, right? Like, they're not. Yeah, like, it ain't gonna be no meltdown like what happened in Dallas. It's gonna be Baltimore is ready to play this game. They seen what Houston just did, and no slight to Houston, because that was a huge thing for them to go in and beat
Their
the Browns.
defense, the Browns' defense was top 5 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And they went in there and aired them out. But
So it's just like
a lot got to do with that offense too.
exactly.
Because when they were moving it, the Browns, the game was pretty close. But when they started getting locked up, and then that was it. Game got blew open, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Back-to-back pick sixes.
Yeah.
That pressure got to old Joe Flacco.
CJ and Ryan all the way.
Hey, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, man.
If CJ goes and wins the Super Bowl, hey, there ain't nothing I can say about it. You win the Super Bowl, your rookie year. Ben Roethlisberger, but look, the team that Ben Roethlisberger had.
Right. Listen, we don't got none of us got a dog in the fight, right? Like all of our teams is at home or in Cancun or vacate. They somewhere, they chilling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't negate us from being able to like talk about other teams. If CJ and them could do it, I don't know. I just feel like the Ravens, what I saw the Ravens do to the San Francisco 49ers, and y'all know how I felt about the 49ers from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that San Fran was going basically undefeated, destroying anything in their path, killing dudes, taking just, they was just going to be taking advantage of people. And the way that they
safety, it was like, a long game.
Yeah.
Long. Nope. Baltimore came out there and did what we thought San Fran was about to do to everybody. They did that to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just praying for CJ. Like, that's my thing. I'm going to pray for CJ that he can have a good, productive game, because that defense is going to come out. They're going to be ready. This Baltimore Ravens team is absolutely legit. I think it could be a good game, but I don't think that they make it. And them where they are right now, being able to play in round 2 of the playoffs, that is an accomplishment, because nobody thought that the Houston Texans would even be in the playoffs in the beginning of the year. Nobody, right? So, like, that's already an accomplishment for them. But I think that it's going to be a good game. But I'm right now, I think I'm picking Kansas City over Buffalo. I think I'm picking Kansas City over Buffalo for sure.
Same.
What do you got for the other picks? Seeing you weren't here on Tuesday.
So we got who we got? We got
the 49ers, Packers, Ravens, Texans, Bills, Chiefs, and Lions.
So 49ers over the Packers for sure.
Okay.
Baltimore over
it could be
Houston.
an upset though.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? That could be. Hey, nobody saw the Packers beating the Cowboys, man. The hottest team in the NFL right now. So
that's true. But it's the Cowboys. Like, this is the thing that we got to realize. Like, when you start talking about these other teams, right? Like, you're talking about teams that are well coached. Yeah, like the Cowboys. Sidebar. The thing that kind of upset me is like the Eagles fans. They was like, y'all thought y'all were good. We knew that we were bad. And I'm like, bro, that's a lie. Like, y'all said that y'all were good. Yeah. I was like, that's crazy that y'all flipping it like that, but that's not a thing. But either way, the Cowboys are the Cowboys. Like, we know how that goes. But I think San Fran takes care of business. Jordan Love, and no disrespect to the Packers. Like, I'm not hating because of what happened, right? Like, I'm all good with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the Cowboys are, and I said it. The Cowboys are built for entertainment. They're not built for the playoffs. They are built to entertain you. They are built to go 12-5. They're built to win the NFC East, to make you think that they're going to do something, and then they get in the playoffs and do what they've done over and over and over again. So, like, that's what they're built to do. So I definitely understand that. So I'm taking Baltimore over Houston. I'm taking San Fran over
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking
Detroit going underdog.
Huh?
Herman, whoever that guy is.
He said,
watch out for Jordan Love.
Yeah. Kansas City over Buffalo, and then this Tampa Detroit game. That's interesting to me, man. Like,
it is.
I want to root for Detroit because I like the coach and stuff. but I can't root against my boy. What's
Baker.
Baker, man?
All right. So can I say this? I am 32 years old. In all of my life, the Detroit Lions have been trash. Right? Like
Hey,
they
that's
have been
not all your life. They've been good the past 2 years. So 30
no
30 years of your life.
no. Listen,
They had good
all of
play.
my life, the Detroit Lions have been trash. Right? This year, and I mean, yes, this year and last year they've been better, but all of my life I've never had a Detroit Lions fan talk junk to me. I've never
It's
seen it.
hard to hate them
Right?
or don't
But
like them.
then
Yep.
as soon as the Cowboys lost, I got tagged on Facebook and this dude was like, karma. And right then and there, I was like, bro, and then he's like telling me, oh, enjoy the couch. And I was like, but you know how
You
the couch
enjoy it.
feels. Like you
Didn't make the
know it.
playoffs
Like
for so long.
for so long. So I'm like, don't get here right now and start talking and pounding and beating your chest. Like, give it a minute. Like, let's do something first. So, with that being said, because of that Detroit Lions fan talking junk to me, I'm going with Baker, man. Baker took down Philly, and I feel like he's gonna go there. And people have been disrespectful to Baker, right? Like Cleveland Browns turned their back on him. Like, think about how that went. The Browns said Baker's our guy. 2 days later, went out and paid this dude $200+ million fully guaranteed. And it ain't Baker Mayfield who got the money, right? Like they completely disrespect him. The whole fan base turned their back on him. They blamed him. All of that debacle that
Imagine him winning
happened.
the Super Bowl this year.
That would be crazy.
Bro, I said this.
If there's a team besides the Ravens, I would hope it's Baker Mayfield, bro.
I said that to somebody the other day. I was talking to some dudes during the Bills game, and they were like, absolutely not. And I was like, listen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just imagine if it happens, right? Like that team with Evans and Rashid, all of them, like Godwin, you know. So it's anything is possible. But I'm going with Tampa. Although realistically, you know, I think Detroit is going to beat Tampa, but I'm going with Tampa in that. So those are my picks.
And Jones are dangerous. Aren't they playing San Fran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so is San Fran, right? As long as Fred Warner is on the football field, you better
CMC
be
and
careful.
Purdy are dangerous too.
Yeah.
CMC,
right?
Purdy, Debo, and Ayuk, man.
And what's his coach? Shanahan?
Yeah.
Shanahan ain't about to sit there and let Aiden Hutchinson tee off on Brock Purdy, right? Like Aiden Hutchinson gonna have to earn his paycheck on when is they playing? On Sunday? He's gonna have to earn his paycheck, man. So yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's gonna be good. I think San Fran takes that game though for sure. So I mean, Green Bay, don't no disrespect to them. They played good this year. They on a roll. Shout out to them for
I'm happy that
demolishing the Cowboys.
I'm happy that black quarterbacks are doing their thing.
Yeah, young.
Look in the playoffs. Who's left? It's 3 against what? There's Lamar, Stroud,
Jordan Love,
Baker Mayfield. He's joined, and it's traded.
Yeah,
we traded. We did a trade.
3 on 5, bruh. 3 on 5.
Oh my gosh, he just said Baker.
It's 4 on 4, I think. You got Mahomes, Jordan Love, CJ, and Lamar.
That's 4.
4 on 4. Yeah. Then you got Purdy, Baker, Goff, and Josh Allen.
Because what black quarterback has won a Super Bowl recently? I can't remember. I don't think that there was
Patrick Mahomes.
Besides, Patrick Mahomes.
That's it.
Yeah.
He the lone brother, and he only 50%.
Facts.
And we've been saying for years, you know, they can't play that position. All they're gonna do is run. That's not what quarterbacks do. But when Josh Allen run, that's what quarterback's supposed to do. We ain't even gonna go there now.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's Baltimore's year to do it. Like I really
Boy,
do.
that Lamar Jackson win. Ooh,
Oh man.
revenge is sweet. I'm not just gonna be talking trash. Like I'm just happy after what they did to him in the offseason. They
Yeah.
dragged him through the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope he win and win MVP.
But not only did they drag him, teams came out and straight up said, we have no interest in him. As if like he's not an elite quarterback, a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Like, what?
Wasn't it Atlanta that was like, we have no interest in him?
Didn't they do that special franchise tag where they would have had to give him like 2 firsts and something else?
I think that was on the table. Yeah, it was definitely on the table.
Because they told him to go. I'm like, what? I'm like, how nobody went for him? Like, that's blackball. The league tried to blackball him.
Yeah.
The league tried to blackball him.
Hey,
it worked though.
Yeah, no. So it could be his year. It's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, the weekend is here. We're gonna be seeing some football. And nothing on Saturday, right? It's just Sunday and Monday.
No, Saturday.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday and Sunday. Nothing on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nothing on Monday. Okay. So hey, yeah, we got some football coming. They said there's Noah Brown hurt.
Yeah, he's out.
They put him on IR.
They put him on IR.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard he definitely he's not gonna be playing.
They put him on IR, so he's out
for the remainder of the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with that. That's all I got for tonight. You know, all of our teams are out. I mean, I had a little longer than y'all did, but I mean, an absolute collapse. But
extra week of practice, baby.
Yeah,
clap it up, come on, clap it up, man.
The way they looked, I don't think they even practiced, man. Like, I mean, this is my thing, and this is my last thing. You know, I'm gonna start getting on some of my Cowboys videos, but there are some videos that came out, and the Green Bay Packers was on demon time. They came there and they disrespected the Cowboys, and the Cowboys let it happen.
They even said, like, not Troy,
Alexander.
What's his name? No, freaking what are the announcers? Greg Olsen and Brendan. Whatever his announcer's name is. Brendan is Greg Jennings. Greg Olsen and the other dude.
Yeah. I don't know what the other guy is.
American Game of the Week. They came out and said before kickoff they wanted to punch the Cowboys in the mouth, get the ball. He said Matt LaFleur wanted to get the ball first, come down, score, and have them play from behind. And that's exactly what he did. So, hey, props to LaFleur for doing that. That's big ball energy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yes, big ball energy to go to Dallas, want the ball,
16 straight dubs.
Yeah. They're winning more in Dallas than Dallas has. The Green Bay Packers have more playoff wins in Dallas than the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys want to be talking about Super Bowls and the players, Micah and all of them. Oh, we want to be remembered as one of the greats. Yo, shut up and play football. The greats weren't remembered because of the interviews and the podcast and the Louis bags. The greats are remembered because they went out there and they did what they needed to do. They did not let the likes of Jordan Love and Jones come in and disrespect you in your house. The Cowboys earned a home playoff game and got disrespected at home. The culture, and that's the thing that's tripping me out, that Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy, they keep talking about this championship culture. Y'all are regular season champions at best. Like, that's it. That's not championships, though. Like, the culture is not there. Y'all, the defense didn't show up. The coaching staff didn't show up. Dak looked lost after basically having an MVP caliber year. Dak went out there and looked absolutely lost in that playoff game. It is one of the craziest things to me to see a team so talented. You got Cooks, you got CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys were healthy. There was no excuse for the Dallas Cowboys. There was no excuse whatsoever. They were healthy. Yes, we lost Diggs on defense. Yes, we lost LVE. Sure. But we were healthy.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason that you get a home game and you let somebody put up 27 points on you before you do anything.
Right.
That's not championship football. And if Jerry Jones was not the general manager, the entire coaching staff would have been fired that day. Dak Prescott would have been looking for a new job that day. That's not championship culture, man. And then to bring back Mike McCarthy, and more than likely, teams are going to look at Dan Quinn. Yeah, Dan Quinn has about 7 interviews that he's going on, but teams are going to look at it and break down the film and say Dan Quinn is not that guy. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy, you know.
Zero, unless he get hurt. Trey Lance ain't playing. Unless wasn't he get hurt, Trey Lance ain't.
I got 2 things on the Cowboys.
That was a move to get San Fran inside San Fran offense, I believe. But
I mean, it wasn't a bad move because Trey Lance needs to sit behind. And if you think about it, Trey Lance resembles Dak Prescott. So people just need to realize that Trey Lance was not brought there to take Dak's job. Trey Lance was brought there to be Jordan Love. Trey Lance was brought there to sit under a veteran quarterback, learn for several years, and God forbid something does happen to Dak. But at that point, Dak is going to get another contract. They're going to extend Dak for another 4 to 5 years. Trey Lance is going to be there. Cooper Rush is probably going to want to go out and be a backup somewhere where he can, compete. He may even go somewhere who needs a bridge quarterback. So he's going to be gone. That's why Trey Lance is in Dallas. It is not at all to take over for Dak Prescott right now, but maybe in the future. So that's it. But go ahead.
I got 2 things on that game.
Talk, man.
You got before the game, pregame, Micah coming in the water boy fit, man. The water boy jersey.
Yeah.
That boy did not play no water boy like game. I will tell you that.
No.
Micah came out in the water boy jersey, Adam Sandler water boy jersey, and didn't play like the water boy at all, bro. That is crazy to me. But and then another note is, were you here when I was talking about Ocha saying the things about Jerry Jones tea time Tuesday?
No, I think I had practice, so I had to dip out.
So you know how Ocho and Unk do the nightcap shows, like you know that they have.
Yeah.
So they brought up the Cowboys, right? And I seen a clip where Ocho said the blame is on Jerry for saying that this team was the best team since '95 and putting all that pressure on them to go out and win the game.
Yep.
So. Hey.
I don't disagree with that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Jerry Jones has built this brand that is the most talked about in all of sports. The Cowboys are talked about more than the Lakers.
They're the
more than the
Yankees sports team in the world.
In the world, right? And has not won Super Bowl in 30 years. They get the Patriots. We've witnessed a dynasty. And the Patriots went on to win 5 or 6 Super Bowls. We witnessed that. They don't get talked about as much as the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like, just start thinking about how that works out. Like the Lakers, they don't get talked. The Lakers, one of the greatest franchises in the NBA,
has the best player in the league right now.
That has probably one of the greatest top 3 greatest athletes to ever touch this world, right?
Yeah.
Don't get talked about as much as the Cowboys do. I'm gonna continue this rant. Is it Hiram? Hey, we appreciate you for coming through. We appreciate you for rocking with us for sure. You like, subscribe. We definitely appreciate you.
If y'all new, make sure you hit that like button. Well, either way, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that sub button if you're new. And you continue to support, man.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. We hope you like it. But yeah, like Jerry Jones has built this in his mind, championship caliber, but it's built for entertainment. It is built for entertainment. It is not built for the playoffs, and it's definitely not built for. Y'all know what I've said all year long. The Cowboys are not going to the Super Bowl. The only way the Cowboys would have gone to the Super Bowl is every team that got into the playoffs, all their quarterbacks got hurt on that first game.
Or all their star players got hurt.
Yeah, something crazy would have had to happen, and it would have just been Dak and the offense out there because they're just not built for it. Our defense in the beginning of the year was people were talking about this could be one of the most historically great defenses ever. By the end of the year, garbage, pure garbage. Couldn't stop a parked car, right? Couldn't stop a parked car. Like they were just bad. Micah, not getting sacks.
Micah was not in the game. I don't care what anybody says. He was not in the game.
And
like last 6 weeks he wasn't.
Yeah, so I didn't really even get to watch the game because I have my travel softball team were going, and it's just been crazy. Speaking of, if anybody looking for Super Bowl squares, hit me up. We definitely doing that, and we can get y'all set up with that. But so I didn't really get to watch it, but I watched I stopped over one of the parents. They had their hey, we appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Tell everybody about us. But they had the game playing. I walked over, I looked at it, and the defense had got a sack or something. It was real early in the game. I was like, oh, all right, bet it's going to be a good game. I go, we're doing some drills. I come back. I said, how's it going? He was like, Coach, you don't even want to know. He was like, it's 20-0. I said, 20-0? Yeah. He said, it's 20-0. He said, oh, never mind, 27-0. I walked away. That was it. I didn't watch no more until I went out to Pittsburgh. And by that time, it was like fourth quarter.
Hey, me and B-Rob were talking about this. That drive just before halftime, the not the one just before, but the one where it got picked, they were moving the ball. That was a momentum drive. And what do you know? Dak throws a pick to Darnell Savage, and he takes it to the house.
The pick six.
Yes, and it stopped every single momentum that they had. But then they came down, scored before halftime, and, the rest is history.
Yeah. But, Dan Quinn was definitely thinking about coaching somewhere else, and it definitely was not Dallas. He was definitely thinking about his future somewhere else. But, I mean, keeping it real, like I think if Mike McCarthy's back, I think Dan Quinn is out. And I don't think that they boot Dan Quinn, but I think that they're banking on Dan Quinn taking a job somewhere else. Because like I said earlier in the show, if you look at it over the last 3 years, Dan Quinn defense has gotten progressively worse. And that shouldn't happen when you have this.
It got better.
Yeah, but the turnovers are, again, one of the things that they do early on in the year. But when it gets later in the season, what are teams doing? They are running the ball. And the Cowboys are not investing in run stoppers. They're investing in pass rushers. They won't do it. So, I don't know. Something's got to give in Dallas. But, I mean, I don't know. As a fan, I'm going to always be a Cowboys fan, right? Like, I just don't know how much more I can invest in it. Like, I have plans to go to games next year and all of that. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I still do it because we're gonna get 12 wins, right? Like, we know that's gonna happen. But it's like putting so much thought and emotion into, like, oh man, can we actually compete this year? When it comes to January, the Cowboys do the same thing over and over again.
That'd be a nice team for Dan Quinn to coach, actually. The Seahawks.
Who?
Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
That'd be a nice coach.
He could go some. I think that he's got to. I mean, maybe he comes back to Dallas, and maybe every other year the blame has been put on Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, but this year there's been a lot of talk about Dan Quinn and that defense. So if he comes back, maybe that puts the pressure on him to make some changes or something. But I don't know. I'm glad that I'm a fan of the NFL and not just the Cowboys because some of them dudes was crying after the game.
Just the guy, I'd be like, season ended in week 12.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Had some hope, but
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, overall though, playoffs are still gonna be interesting, and we still gonna be out here talking our junk.
Yeah, might
And
catch us on Sunday, maybe. All depends.
yeah,
It all depends. Maybe, but
Mhm.
definitely Tuesday we'll be back.
Yeah. We'll be back for sure. Chances of Cowboys picking up Henry. We'll say we talked about this a little while ago. This is the last thing, and then we're gonna end it. I think. Okay, the fan in me says it's gonna happen, right? Like it's written in the stars. It's gonna happen. I think it should happen as a fan.
What Jerry Jones do?
Thank you. Knowing Jerry Jones is going to we will see Derrick Henry in a Cowboys uniform 2 years before Derrick Henry is going to retire, and I don't see him retiring no time soon. So do with that information as you may. I would love to see him in Dallas. But Jerry will make the right move at the wrong time. So Dak is going to be on his way out, right? It's going to be so far down where like Derrick Henry is averaging 3 yards a carry. Then that's when Jerry's going to be like, I've always had my eyes on him, and we finally pulled the trigger. So I don't see it happening, but hopefully. But yeah, we definitely. I'm definitely going to try to make some time to do some Cowboys content. I know y'all been rocking with the Patriot stuff, the Giants videos. So I'm gonna definitely try to get something going. If I get some free time, man, it's crazy. I pray for you all this. We got practice 3 times a week. We got scrimmages coming up. We got all sorts of stuff. So it'll be cool. Dalvin Cook, no, I'm good on Dalvin. I'm good on Dalvin.
He's on the Ravens, man. He's about to get him Super Bowl.
He's definitely about to get him a Super Bowl.
He's about to cook with the Ravens. He's about to cook. I think there's a prop that they say that he's gonna get less than 25 yards. I'm gonna hit the over on that one, buddy.
Hey, Baltimore running backs be getting yards, man. Gus Edwards blessed me in fantasy, so
hey,
we appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Close it out, Bonner.
We really appreciate y'all. Everybody, like, subscribe if you're watching this on Rewind. And we hope to see you again. This is the SuperBiased Sports Show.
Yes,
where
sir.
A fan can be a fan, no matter how biased the take is. It's boy Bonnet, Austin, Tea Time.
Tea Time, Austin.